Hey y'all, welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog, but this time around I'm going to be partaking in RomComathon's back to school edition, and I'm really excited. Already have started into my first class. 𝗖cie by Balu Babalola is going to be completing the fake dating trope for me. The goal is to try and get all 6 major tropes throughout the books you read, and if you do, you end up graduating from Smut University with valedictorian. This is fake dating. Not my fave, but I do have high hopes for this because I've heard so many positive things about it. I think I've pretty much only heard high 4 and 5-star ratings for this. So we are following a main character who she kind of has a rule against dating, but she also is a radio host for a radio show where I think she gives advice for relationships and kind of talks about gossip around her college. However, I believe she ends up meeting this guy who's kind of the new hottie on campus, and he is a hot commodity. After having basically spent an entire show roasting him, she's actually seen kissing him at a party, and so in order to try and salvage a bit of her reputation for her show, she ends up trying to, I think, convince him to do a fake dating scheme. I have literally gotten 14 pages in. So I don't really have too much to say yet, but I can say it's pretty funny, and there's a lot of British slang, which can't tell by the accent I am not British. That's kind of throwing me off. I am gonna have to occasionally check out Google to figure out what the heck they're saying. I have heard to check out the audiobook, which I may try and do, but I am trying to annotate this as I read, so that's kind of a whole process if I ever do that. But currently, on a very different note, my audiobook that I've been listening to is 𝗖cie by Max Cutler, because for some reason I have just been in a true crime mood, and this has been fascinating. I was a little skeptical going in because I feel like I'm pretty well versed in some of the big name cults. Most have been covered in this, but there actually have been a few in here that I didn't know too much about, and then there's a few that I knew what they were, but I'd never really heard a full dive into them. Stop. Hello, beauty queens. You know, that was unexpected, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Hi, it's Wednesday. Sorry I didn't update you yesterday. As per usual, I went to my brother's and just didn't feel like doing this when I came home. Also, almost forgot about it today, but I remembered. I have, unfortunately, not quite finished 𝗖cie. And tomorrow's Thursday. I really wanted to be further through this by this point, but that hasn't happened, unfortunately. To be fair, I think I've just had a busier week than anticipated. I am, however, just past 200 pages in. I am enjoying this. Look at these tabs. Once our main characters are in the same room with each other, I am in love. I adore them. They're so entertaining. Their banter, phenomenal. It's already very clear to me that they would work fantastically. However, of course, 𝗖cie doesn't do relationships, and then on the opposite side, Malachi is really only doing casual because he has recently come off a long-term serious relationship and he wants to hang out. He just wants to play around, play the field. He thinks he's upfront about it, but he's not as upfront as he should be. And 𝗖cie calls him out on it, and I love it. I actually really enjoy the fact that they're both willing to call the other person out on their bullshit. It's delicious. I adore it. I really love that 𝗖cie's best friend, I love that she is enjoying seeing 𝗖cie having these feelings, experiencing this for the first time around her, and realizing this is not a normal occurrence, and she's just soaking it in. I love it. There's actually already been some pretty great growth from 𝗖cie. We've seen from her background that she has issues with friendships due to something that happened to her when she was in high school, and so she's kind of isolated herself apart from her best friend, and now she's finally trying to go against that. She's trying to make strides, improving relationships with those around her. The fake dating element, I can already tell, is just, it's gonna annoy me because they're already sort of becoming friends. Malachi continues to flirt with her, and Kiki keeps making excuses of like, yeah, we're just friends. We're flirty friends. Nothing more is happening here. And it's like, girl, why are you lying to everybody? We know more is happening. They've given each other nicknames now, and I adore it. There was this really wholesome scene where she ends up going on a tangent about her favorite book series, and later he ends up reading the series. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of started tearing up. Why was that so damn cute? I'm really enjoying this. I want to finish this tomorrow. Actually, I kind of need to finish this tomorrow for a different video. And then I think once I finish this one, I really want to dive into Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones, just because I'm very excited to start into the series. Part of me thinks, no, I should focus on the books for my physical TBR, but I really want to start into the series. It sounds so cute. I've heard so many positive things. Anyway, life stuff. I went to my brother's yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We watched My Hero. I had a delicious gyro. My niece and nephew were adorable as always. I got some puppy cuddles from Big Puppies. Faith had a time whenever I came home. Unfortunately, Sam kept Josh and I up a lot last night. He was just so hyper. So I spent as much time as I could today while I was home to keep him awake. Hopefully that'll work. I think he's getting really tired of me like coming over and dramatically rolling him over when he's trying to get comfortable. But hopefully he'll stay awake. Also hung out with my girls. It was really nice to see them and just catch up. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, hopefully. And hopefully I'll have finished this. Hey guys, so once again, I nearly forgot to update, but hi, it's Thursday night, and I finally finished Honey and Spice today, and it was so good. Oh my gosh. I get why I've like only heard positive things about this, because it was wonderful. It was so cute. I will say, as far as the fake dating element goes, it didn't do the thing that annoys me with a lot of other fake dating books as much. Still was kind of there, but really, the third act breakup, which yes, there was one, unfortunately, was more a misunderstanding and expectation and also priorities. And I appreciate that Malachi kind of like called Kiki out for the way her priorities were. Then from there was just, of course, some college drama that was taking place as well. The grand gesture, the public declarations were so adorable and perfectly fit with both characters and everything about them, their interests, all that sort of stuff. It was very sweet, and the declaration was adorable. The grand gesture, so cute. I also don't think I mentioned in either of the videos I utilized this book in that this actually had mixed media elements, which was pretty cool. Text chains or transcripts from the radio show, newsletters, emails, different stuff like that included within the text. And I thought it was very cool on Babalolo's part that kind of the epilogue of the book was just different multimedia elements in order to tell us what was happening without showcasing it actually on page. And it was original, it was clever. Again, I was so impressed with this. Definitely am gonna be keeping an eye out for more work from her because this was so freaking good. Look at these 20 million tabs. Oh my God. So for this, because it took forever, I think I'm actually going to count this for both the fake dating class as well as, I think it's Rivals to Lovers is the second class I counted this for. I have now started into Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones, which is the first in the Wright Brothers series, the one that I was saying I really wanted to start into. I had recently heard Ray Epic Mark Chronicles do a review of this entire series, and that kind of reminded me that I really want to read these. I've heard so many positive things about this author's work. I started the audiobook while I was cooking dinner, and I listened to the first 45% all while doing that. I could not stop. It was so good. I just have to say, like, my God, I don't know what is going on between these books, but banter was phenomenal. It's still phenomenal, actually. Like, these two are constantly picking at each other. They're calling each other names all the while. They're still like checking each other out, and it's perfect. That's like the kind of enemies to lovers energy that I like. There have been so many interesting connections that like we as the reader know, but the characters don't, and I can't wait for those to come to a head. It's gonna be so entertaining. So in this one, we have our two main characters, 𝗖cie and Jason. 𝗖cie is a TA for her mother's course. I believe it's some sort of an English literature class. And then Jason is a non-traditional student. He was deployed in the army, but he is now a veteran. He has returned home. He's utilizing the GI Bill in order to get his degree. But as soon as those two see each other in person, it's just no holds barred. They are both on their guard and ready to pick a fight between each other. It's great. There has been a little bit of talk of like that taboo element given the fact that he is a student and she is a TA. It's not super prevalent, but it was kind of acknowledged at one point, only for her mother to clear the air and point out, no, he is 28. He is an adult. There's no maturity discrepancy going on there. But he is still one of the students, and she is in charge of kind of grading his work a lot of the time, so it's still sort of there. It's not super serious. There's also been some depth in both characters as far as like tragedy goes. 𝗖cie's father passed away a few years prior, and she hasn't healed from it. And then Jason, like I said, he is a veteran. He has returned home. He thinks he's fine. Oh, there's an ad. And Jason insists he's fine, but his family doesn't quite believe him. They're still sort of babying him, and it's driving him crazy. On top of that, family is also something that's really integral to the story so far, which I do enjoy. Obviously, 𝗖cie's mom is a pretty prevalent character. And then we get to meet Jason's father, who he works with, as well as his two brothers, which makes sense because his brothers are going to be the focus of the rest of the series, seeing as how it's called The Wright Brothers. I do have to say, this definitely is giving me like my similar feels to the Winston Brothers series by Penny Reed, and I love that. It has me ready to binge the next two books. I can't freaking wait. These are so good already. I'm also very excited for the spice because like just the way things are playing out in each of these characters' minds when they're eyeing the other one up, it's gonna be good, I can tell. Good morning. It's Saturday. I, once again, totally forgot to update last night. I don't know what it's been with me this week. I've just been really bad about remembering to update for some reason. So I have actually finished out Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones, and I adored it. It was so good. It was so cute. It was funny. It was spicy. Banter was phenomenal. We were introduced to the family very well. I think some of the characters were definitely intriguing, so I'm really interested to try and continue into the series so I can read their books. I think that Devin, 𝗖cie's best friend, is also going to be the heroine in the next book. So we had some introductions to her as well, and she was also really fun. I really loved her personality. She was a great friend to 𝗖cie. The spice, oh, it was good. It was real good. I really enjoyed this. It was such a fast, easy read. Highly recommend. This one ended up completing the Grumpy Sunshine trope for the RomComathon. It's not really a bingo board. The class, that's the theme. Unfortunately, with it being Saturday, I don't have a huge amount of faith that I will finish the other books I had planned for my TBR, but I am going to start into The Fastest Way to Fall by Denise Williams, which this will complete sports romance as well as Friends to Lovers. This one I also am really excited about because I heard positive things about it from, I think it was Bree at 4 Paws in a Book, who's one of the hosts, and I think she said this was a 5-star for her. My friend Kat read it recently and also really enjoyed it. I believe we are following a character who is working for some sort of online publication, and she is up to become an official editor and is competing with this other guy. They both get assigned different like workout apps and have to, I guess, write a review on it. But when she ends up meeting the coach, sparks fly, and they want to pursue something, but at the same time, due to this conflict of interest, they should not be doing that. So there's like a little bit of a taboo scenario going on there. This is 356 pages. So do I have faith in myself that I could read this in the next 2 days? No, I do not. but I did go ahead and download the audiobook. So I'm gonna try and work into this, get as far as I can. I'll probably try and annotate as I go also. I actually am gonna be driving over to Josh's house today, which that is a bit of a drive, so I will have some decent time for the audiobook going to and coming back. I also need to swing by the library on my way over there, so I can pick up a book for October. Hey guys, so it's Saturday night and I am tired. I was at Josh's until kind of late because we ended up playing Cards Against Humanity with his family, which was a lot of fun. I tied for first. I have actually gotten a fair amount into Fastest Way to Fall with all of my driving, and then once I got home, I was just completely sucked in and kept listening while I played a game on my phone because it's so freaking cute. Oh my god. So I'm at chapter 26, page 134. So things are a little bit more complicated than I gave in my basic summary. Wes, the coach, is actually also the owner of this app. He really only took on Britta as a client for himself, specifically as kind of a distraction. He's dealing with a lot in her personal life, which I will say, on that note, it is sort of getting near a point for me where it feels like Wes has a bit too much going on in his side plots in comparison to Britta. But with that, I do think it does showcase some great depth from him. He has a mother who is an addict. He has a sister who has struggled with ED. His ex-girlfriend and ex-partner is now running a competing app and is trying to get back into his life under the guise of being friends with him. I don't trust her at all. He is a sweetheart. You can tell he wants to take care of everybody. He also has this like possible business / volunteer opportunity that he's kind of trying to work on. It's not as major an element, but it also is taking place. Whereas on the opposite side, Britta is trying to compete to be a head writer for the publication that she works at. So she is reviewing Wes's fitness app while her competition is reviewing Wes's ex's fitness app. Wes's app is more focused on like health and really just ensuring you're living a fulfilled life, whereas his ex's app is like all about being super hot, no matter what that means. It feels very superficial. For the first 100 pages, it's actually mostly focused on them communicating via messages, emails, through the app that they're utilizing. And I do tend to enjoy alternative methods of communication in my romances, so I was all over it. Also, the narrator for Wes in the audiobook is the same guy who does the bromance book clubs, and I adore his voice. He does a great job, so really enjoy that. I really like how Britta's fatness has been talked about in this. She's a plus size woman, she's aware of it. She owns it. Does she think she could be a bit healthier? Yes, but she's still a great looking person. She is a wonderful individual and she should be treated as such. I feel like Denise Williams has done the balance very well of showcasing a fat character who is comfortable in their body while still having some insecurities without harboring on them too much. I've just come to realize in books where there are fat characters, if there's a ton of focus on all of their insecurities and them constantly talking down about themselves, it just puts me in a negative mindset about my own body, and I don't like that. Whereas in this, it feels natural, it feels realistic, while at the same time Britta does have actual confidence. And that is what I like to see. Awareness of how society still sucks in that regard, but also being positive about your body. I'm a little tipsy if you can't tell, but I'm really enjoying this. I'm so glad I am. As I said earlier, I ran by the library, and initially I was just going to pick up The September House by Carissa Orlando because this is going to be the Horror Hideout Book Club's pick for October. It seems like it's a gothic haunted house story. I'm not really sure. A woman is determined to stay in her dream home even after it becomes a haunted nightmare in this compulsively readable, twisty, and layered debut novel. I think Jan liked it, but it wasn't quite a 5-star for her, but I do believe she enjoyed this. I also saw that they had Spy Family Volume 3 by Tatsuya Endo, which is shocking because 9 times out of 10, anytime I've looked for Spy Family at my library, they are all checked out. So had to grab this one because this is the one I am now on next. This will kind of force me to continue the series here soon. And then finally, something I'm still over the moon about, they had Dr. Strangebeard by Penny Reed on the for sale section. So, well, it's not really a sale, it's more, here are some books, feel free to take them if you want. They are out of commission for the library. Donate money if you can for them. I would have donated more, but I only had $1 in cash. This is my least favorite of the series. That's kind of the only reason I'm not like super broken up about the fact that it's got like the plastic covering and the label like actively taped on. Yeah, that's why I don't mind it too much, because this is probably my least favorite of the series, but I do still want to own this entire series because I adore the Winston family and I want to reread it at some point. I also think it's funny that it has like the top secret on the back because this one's kind of a suspense romance. Anyway, like I said, I hung out at Josh's. We watched more My Hero Academia. We went and got tacos, which were delicious. And then we played Cards Against Humanity with his parents. I don't know if I'm gonna keep reading my book or maybe take a break to watch something. I'm pretty wiped though, even though I took a mini nap at Josh's. Hey y'all, please excuse what my hair is doing right now. I've just been very lazy, but I've been working on chores for most of the day. Then I just talked with my girls for a little bit. However, I need to close out this video so that I can actually edit it and get it up on time. I got more read of Fastest Way to Fall than I was anticipating, honestly. I just surpassed the halfway point, and I am really enjoying this. I have not transferred my annotations from the audiobook to the physical book yet. If I had to guesstimate, probably my most used colors are going to be for cute and funny, because these two are adorable. I'm very impressed that the author has managed to make me such a fan of their friendship. I'm not usually a big friends to lovers girl, but honestly, I'm really liking this. I feel like they have a solid friendship that also utilizes flirting. I could definitely see them kind of hovering in that, do they like me or do they not stage? And then the element of their jobs being a interference with the relationship also just makes things a little bit more tasty, a little bit more tension there. Obviously for Britta, she can't date Wes because it would be a conflict of interest, seeing as how he is a coach for that app that she is supposed to be reviewing, whereas Wes is not supposed to date her because she's a client and he's the CEO of the company, though Britta is not aware of that. We've seen more from Britta in regards to like how she has handled her confidence in her body, but also in what makes her self-conscious. And for her specifically, it ties into her desirability. I really liked how that was handled, but then I really enjoyed the commentary off of it. Britta just did some great self-reflection that I really enjoy how it was written. On the opposite side though, poor Wes is dealing with so much crap. I kind of want to just give him a hug, but at the same time, I want to tell him to man up, grow a spine, and let people suffer the consequences of their actions. But he's such a nice guy that he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be there. He wants to try and play hero. And you can't always do that, baby. Across the board, I am really, really liking this. It's so freaking cute. It's really sweet. I love the commentary going on in it. I wish I could finish this in the video with you guys, but that's not gonna happen. It's so cute though. I can't wait to finish it, and I really hope this might be a 5 stars. I'm very hopeful for it. We'll see though. Future Nat will have a review for you at some point. All right, and on that note, that is it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me linked in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye.